ECC security, 60% of the security you done. You can work for all the modules if you are perfect at ECC security. So let us start from the scratch actually. Why the SAP is very important for organizations? Why the most of the organizations are depending on SAP security? What exactly we are going to do in SAP security? As per general knowledge, what is authentication and what is authorization? Because as a security consultant, we are going to take care of all the users' authentication. We are going to provide the authorizations for thousands of users based upon your business requirement. So before going to discuss about this authentication and authorization, first let me explain for what purpose we are going to use this SAP security generally. To protect the client data. As a security consultant, ultimately we are going to provide the data or provide the privileges to protect the client data, whoever it is the client. So generally in general terminology, who is client and who is the user? General terminology. Can you just tell me who are the clients will call and who are the end user?
Do it now?
Who are the clients in general terminology? Whom will call it as client and whom will call it as end user?
Your client's basically your customer. Your end user is normally like your client's normally like the company, and the end user is normally like the customer or your whoever's using the product who has the authorization to use the product, basically.
Yes, exactly. See, generally the client is nothing but the user or the person who are doing their exact business. We'll call them as client. So the person who are doing their exact business, we call them as client. Say for example, if you take the best example, for example, if the Walmart people, if they decided to implement SAP at their location, then what kind of things they need to do generally? If they need to look for the one IT team for all the configuration things, right? So if they are having their separate IT team, if they are having their IT sector separately, then without depending on any other third parties directly, they can start implementing SAP. They can get the license and they can start it directly with their IT team. If they don't have any IT team, say for example, for all the IT support things, if they are depending on any other third party companies, say for example IBM. IBM are the main gold partners for SAP. So for example, if they are depending on any other third party companies, then in that case, what Walmart people are doing here? See, generally Walmart people, they are having them number of businesses in worldwide. They are having a number of businesses and they are having multiple branches and they are doing their business. So then whatever the product or whatever the business they are doing, for that, for SAP support, they need to depend if they want to implement SAP security, whatever it is, SAP security or SAP any module, then they need support from the one of the IT team. So for that they are going to get the support from the IBM people the IT sector. And then I see vice versa. In simple words, we can say Walmart people, they are going to depend on IBM. So here the client is IBM and the vice versa, the IBM is doing the business with the Walmart people, and even the Walmart people, they are doing business with the IBM because they both are in the mutual agreement for all the project related things, right?
Yeah.
So simply in our example, who is the client here? Walmart people are the client for the IBM, and meanwhile IBM is the client for Walmart people. So now whatever the IT services we are utilizing from the IBM, we are going to, from here we are going to start gathering the manpower, like for all the module related consultants. First the basis consultant, they will come into the picture, basis and security consultant, then they will start gathering the information here. So whatever we implemented at the client location, whatever users, whatever products they are having, once we implemented each and everything at the client location. So whatever services the client is providing to the customer, the person who are utilizing the productive services, we call them as a end user. The person who are providing or the person who are utilizing the productive services or production services, will call them as the end user. So ultimately the production services is provided by the Walmart people only. See, now the end user, they are not going to communicate with the IBM people now. Directly they will not communicate with the IBM people. Directly they will have the mutual agreement with the client only ultimately. So but ultimately the people, the IT team, whatever we are building here, they are going to provide the support and they are going to stabilize each and everything in organization. So as part of all these things, what exactly the security consultant work is? So whatever the user, whatever business they are having, think about Walmart people, they are having n number of businesses and n number of branches, and then for each and every branch and for each and every department, the users are different, the manager is different, and their responsibilities is different, and their designation wise is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So based on their position and based on their authorization, based on, say completely in simple words, based on their organization structure, as a security consultant, we are going to provide the authentication for each and every user, and whatever users we authenticated here, for them, for those users, based on their position in the organization, the position in the organization is nothing but whether he is the junior consultant, whether he is the senior consultant, associate consultant, assistant consultant, manager, junior manager. So based on the position, whatever we maintained in the organization structure, accordingly we are going to provide the authorizations for a user.
Okay.
So simply authentication is nothing but we are just providing one user ID and password to the user. Whatever user ID you created and whatever user ID and password you created for the user, what will happen when you create a user ID and password? He just log into the system, SAP system, that's it. Until and unless you provide the authorizations to the user, he cannot do any other activities. Simply he can log in and he can see the screen, that's it. Authorizations is nothing but providing privileges. Whatever authorizations, whatever users you provided here, You are just providing the privileges accordingly based on the business requirement. They can log in. So accordingly, they can log into the system and they can start doing or they can start executing some inputs in SAP system. So how we are going to authenticate the authorizations and what basis they are going to see. Till now we were discussing like the position of the employee. See, on what basis they are going to segregate the authorizations for each and every user, and who is going to take care of all the authorizations and all the segregations, everything. We'll discuss the implementation technology here. We'll call it as a SAP methodology. James, are you following?
I'm sorry, what was that last? What was that last part?
Sorry?
So what did you say? What was that last part you just said?
Are you following my session?
Yes, I am.
Yes. If you have any queries, you can straight away you can ask and you can clear the queries. Do you have any queries here? The client and the end user? It's clear, right?
Yeah, I understand the client versus the end user.
Authentication and authorization?
Yeah.
Yes. So accordingly, based on the client and based on the end user, whatever end users you are authenticating for all the end users, how to provide the authorization and who is going to segregate the authorizations we'll discuss here. See, every organization, they need to follow in certain regulations before going to implement something, before going to start any new things in organization. They have to maintain or they have to follow certain rules and regulations to avoid the misutilization in the organization. So, SAP methodologies, this we can call it as implementation methodologies. How we are going to implement each and every module in SAP. Before going to take you to the implementation stage, we'll discuss few things about SAP. What exactly the abbreviation of the SAP? System application. System application. System application detail. See, before that, ECC, SAP is one of the ERP product, enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource planning. Under ERP, CBEL is one pack. CBEL is one product. CBEL CRM, Oracle. What else we have under ERP? We have a number of products, ERP products. Apart from this, SAP is also one of the products. In SAP, we are having 250 plus modules now. Almost 250 plus modules we are having in SAP. The well-known products, the well-known components or well-known modules in SAP is the first core component. Basis is the first core component. ABAP is the core component and the security. The basis, ABAP and security. These three are the ever-ending components. That's what I mentioned. It's a core component. When SAP ends, it ends with only three components. Basis, ABAP and security. Without these three components, you cannot do anything. Any other module people. They need to depend on the basis consultant, they need to depend on the ABAP, they need to depend on the security consultant. Apart from these three core components, the well-known components like CRM, SRM, HR, PI, XI, BI, BO, So we have like this, we have 250 plus modules in SAP, like APO, BODS. We have n number of components. So at the time of implementation, for each and every module wise, how exactly they are going to communicate with the business people, what kind of steps we are following while implementing SAP at each and every organization. So till now, is it clear? Do you have any queries?
No.
Shall I clear this screen?
Okay.
Yes. Please concentrate SAP methodologies. SAP methodologies. Write down accelerated SAP methodologies. We call this as accelerated SAP methodologies. SAP methodologies. So generally for other technologies we'll call it as life cycle, or we'll call it as implementation phase. So generally in life cycle, implementation life cycle, generally we are having 5 phases. Standard phases, 5 phases. The first one is analysis phase. Please note it down.
Mm-hmm.
The first phase is analysis phase. The second phase is business blueprint. Designing phase. And the fourth phase is, are you writing down?
Yeah.
Pre-go live and go live phase. Analysis phase, business blueprint, designing phase, pre-go live and go live stage. This designing phase we can call it as SOD phase. We'll discuss it, security perspectives. Security perspectives, this designing phase we'll call it as SOD. SOD is nothing but segregation of duties. SOD is nothing but segregation of duties. In simple words, we can say SOD is the art of the security. Everything is dependent on SOD. We are going to segregate the authorizations based on their position. We are going to implement each and everything. We are going to design the roles. We are going to restrict the authorizations. Each and everything we are going to do accordingly here. SOD. Without SOD, now there is no GRC, there is no security. In earlier, actually, few years ago, number of organizations, almost 80% of the organizations, they used to maintain basis and security as one team only. They used to maintain basis and security as one team only. But when the US government, when they strictly maintain the SOD regulations and Sarbanes-Oxley rules, when the US government, when they implement a strict US SOX rules, Sarbanes-Oxley rules, now the companies, they completely motivated and they completely decided to maintain or segregate basis as one team and security as one team. So now from that time the GRC is very much popular. Now the GRC is very hot in market just because of this SOD and SOX. And now The security consultant work is more important in organization just because of this SOD and SOC. We'll discuss very clearly about SOD and SOC in further sessions. So let us explain about each and every phase, what exactly for first phase, what exactly we are going to do. At analysis phase, the basis consultant first they will come into the picture and then they will start gathering the information. They will go and they will sit with the business people. They will discuss about the what kind of business they are doing and in how many branches they are having their business, and in how many branches they want to implement SAP. Then if based upon that, how many systems they required, how much RAM size they required, hardware related information, each and everything. So when the basis consultant came into the picture, ultimately the sales and distribution, the sales and purchase related things, they will come into the picture and they will start work with pictorial format, finance related things and hardware related things. So once they're done with all this information, whatever the organization, whatever the structure they gathered from the, whatever the details they gathered from the business people, then the business blueprint phase, the SAP architecture, they will come into the picture. SAP architecture is nothing but the consultant who worked on the complete life cycle projects, or the consultant who is having more than 15 plus years of experience. The architecture they will come into the picture and then they will start making one pictorial format, whatever information we gathered at the analysis phase. Clear?
Yeah.
At analysis phase, whatever, say, like how many end users they are having, how many managers they are having, and the position of the managers and the position of the employees, how many branches they are having in each and every branch, what kind of products they are using, what kind of business they are doing, how many systems they require, how many employees they are having. So entire organization structure, they will go and they will discuss with the business people, and then whatever data we collected from the business people, accordingly will maintain one graphical format, pictorial format, business blueprint level. So
Okay.
accordingly then it's not only related to the security, it's not only related to the basis or ABAP consultants. Each and every module wise, the functional people, they will go and they will discuss related to the what kind of transactions they required, what kind of programs they need to provide. So like that technically they will go and they will discuss with the business people accordingly based on their position. So whatever organization structure we maintained here, so from based on that organization structure, the security consultant here, they will come into the picture and they will start creating n number of users here. We are going to create number of users, and whatever users we build here, we are going to maintain number of roles. In ECC, in SAP, authorizations we are going to maintain, our authorizations we are going to provide with roles only. Here we are going to work with complete user admin activities and complete role admin activities. The role admin activities is nothing but the complete privileges. We'll provide the privileges to the user through role only. We'll create a number of roles. In roles, we are going to include the transaction codes, whatever the user is looking for, and then we'll assign this role to the user. User administration activity is nothing but authentication. whatever we discussed now, authentication, the complete user administration part will be taken care by the authentication, like creating the user and maintaining the users, database changes, user modifications, everything. And the role administration activities, here it is going to maintain the complete role creations, authorizations creations, authorization maintenance, what kind of authorizations we need to give it to the manager, what kind of transactions we need to give it to the junior consultant. See, our work is very important here. See, why specifically I am telling you is based on the position. Here we are going to segregate the privileges to everyone, whoever it is, whether he is a manager or the senior manager or CEO or CFO, whoever it is, we are going to maintain, we are going to restrict the authorizations accordingly only. So before going to create users, and before going to provide the authorizations to the user, a security consultant, they need to sit and discuss with the business people, as well as we need to guide the business people. Say for example, if you assign some transaction code to the so-and-so XYZ user, with this transaction code, what exactly he is going to do in organization, the functionality of the transaction codes, and how long he is going to use this transaction codes. If we assign these authorizations to the user, if we assign these transaction codes to the user, is there any violations? Violations in the sense, the user, if I assign all these authorizations, whatever transactions we assign to the so-and-so XYZ user, whether he can do any misutilization in the organization or not. Each and everything we need to explain to the business people, we need to guide them, because they don't know the functionality of the transaction codes. It's not mandatory to know, or it's not very important to know the transaction code functionality for a security consultant or for a ABAP consultant. So that's what, to know the, before going to assign all the authorizations to the user, a security consultant, they need to sit and discuss with the functionality of the transactions and functionality of the programs, and then we need to guide the user, and then we need to verify if we assign these authorizations to the user, whether he is the responsible person or not, whether he is the eligible person or not. Then we'll take the proper approval from our manager. Then we will assign the authorizations to the user. In SAP, each and everything is recorded. We can take each and every log reports. Simply we cannot escape from the system. We can do something and we cannot escape from the system. So each and every authorization related, before going to take any proper approvals from our manager, especially related to the finance related things, or finance, especially for FICO consultants, for MM, for SD consultants, before going to assign authorizations, we should be more attentive. So because there is an interrelation between FICO, MM and SD people, the three consultants, they will work together actually for related to purchase orders, for related to finance related things, each and everything. The three consultants, they will work together. So before going to assign the authorizations to the each and every module people, we need to know the functionality of the transaction code. See, if it is standard functionality, if it is standard transaction code, whatever T code is provided by the SAP, we can find out the functionality of the transaction code. But if it is the customized transaction is if it is developed by the company internally, then The consultants, the ABAPers, the functional people or the technical people, they will know the functionality of the customized transaction codes. They are the responsible person for each and every customization, for each and everything. So before going to assign each and everything to the user, we should be more attentive and we need to take all the approvals from the manager. Before going to assign any transaction code, we need to check whether there is any critical combination of the transactions or not. The critical combination of the transactions is related to security. SU01 is the one transaction code where you can handle all the user administrative activities, all the authentication related things. Just a second. Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. See, any critical combination of the transactions in the sense, see, security perspectives, SU01 is the transaction code where you can handle each and every user administrative activities like user creation, user modification, user maintenance, every activity we can do it from the SU01 itself. And then the role administration part, the security is completely dependent on user administration and the role administration part only. So the role administration part we can do it from the PFCG transaction code. PFCG is the transaction code where you can handle all the role administrative activities, role creation, role maintenance, role changes, everything you can do it from the PFCG transaction code. So if I give authorization with SU01 and PFCG combination of the transaction code, the transaction code itself is a critical. Whatever users they want to create, they can create n number of users. Whatever roles they want, they can assign. So there is a chance to misutilize the data in organization. So like that, before going to assign any critical combination of the transaction, we need to discuss with the business people. And we need to guide the business people also. If you assign this transaction code combination to the so-and-so XYZ user, the user will get so-and-so authorizations he can able to do all these activities in organization. So like that we need to guide the business people and we need to discuss with the technical people. So now whatever users and whatever authorizations you implemented here, we are going to number of roles, number of users, whatever we implemented here, each and everything we are going to move the data to the pre-go live stage. Pre-go live system is nothing but it's a quality system for testing, QA system. Each and every activity till now we are doing in the development system only. So once we are done with the development activities, we'll move the data to the quality system. We'll test it. If it is working fine, then we'll move the data to the production server. From the production server, the end user, they will get the access directly. Now, the production server, the data is moved to the production server in the sense now the data is ready to use. Now the project is stabilized. So here it is up to implementation. Once the project is stabilized, once it is implemented, then we'll start providing the support based on their mutual agreement. So that is support level activities like changes, user related changes or role related changes. So any queries?
No, I understand everything so far.
Yes. So if you are comfortable, then we'll start how to create the number of users and how to create the role, each and everything from the tomorrow session.
Okay.
I'll show you practically how to start, how to create a user and we'll work on live system.
Okay.